Hey folks, I don't know what happened, but the gremlins are out today. My phone just shut off. I don't know why. It's annoying, and I was on a roll too. Isn't that how it goes? It's just how it goes. Well, I'm back. So let's talk a little bit about, we've talked about being prepared, but let's talk about, this month has been a really good month, and I may post both of these. We have done our laundry. We've practiced doing our laundry. We've gotten all of these things done, and it's going to make it much easier for school to start. And we're going to have a lot of fun because we're going to have more time because the laundry's done. It's just going to be wonderful. Next week, Sunday, we start a new habit. And that new habit is our before bed routine. This is the most important routine of the whole day, everybody. The most important routine of the whole day. Now, next week we are in zone 1. That is our front porch, our entrance of our home, and our dining room. So our missions are going to be around this. We've had a whole week in our living room, and see, my living room and entrance area is all together. My dining room's right off the kitchen, but it's lovely. I'm ready for company. It'll be fun. I got to start cooking. I'm meeting my friend Tammy. She's coming to Hendersonville tomorrow to drop a friend off. And we're going to meet. And I got to take her a calendar. She says, bring me a calendar. So I got to take her a calendar. And we got stuff to do. I got to start cooking my baked beans for our cookout that we're having at Leanne's. We've got vegetables from the farmer's market on Wednesday, and I got to make some baked beans for Robert and Mark because they're going to love my baked beans. Heart attack baked beans. But let me talk to you. Yesterday, I did a little experiment. We went to dinner, and I won't admit to everybody, I'm addicted to salt. I am a salt addict, and yesterday I decided to get out of my salt prison because Leanne showed me a video of somebody who said we were in the prisons of our brain. Well, I've been in a salt prison, and I am letting go of salt. You just got to get your mind right. I've let go of sugar. I've let go of carbs. I've let go of gluten. And now I need to get rid of the salt. I thought carrying my own little personal salt shaker, because I'm kind of a germ phobe, and I don't like touching the salt shakers in restaurants because everybody touches them. So I usually pick them up with a napkin. And then I started carrying my own little tiny salt shaker. But I could use a whole bottle of that, a little tiny salt shaker, at a meal. So last night I practiced. Now this is my new habit for this next month, is not to touch the salt shaker. Not to use salt. I have plenty of salt. I get plenty of salt in my food. I have got to let go of the salt. And we'll see how it goes. Yesterday, I drank my 8-ounce cups of water while I was in my bathroom. Everything else was gravy. Wasn't really gravy, but it was extra. So I had unsweet tea at dinner. I had coffee yesterday morning. I filled up my water bottle beside my chair a couple of times. but I only counted the water that I drank every time I went to the bathroom. And I eliminated water, and I was writing about water. So today I'm writing about salt. And salt, and how, it's one of those white things: sugar, salt, flour. It's one of those white things that Leanne tells us. So I didn't even pick up the salt shaker. I had a cheese quesadilla with spinach in it and some guacamole, a guacamole salad. And I just took note of how everything tasted. It's kind of like having your cup of tea and smelling it and feeling it, and just, yep, we're going to add that to the hydration chapter. Now, salt is important to our bodies. The salt we get in our little, the little blue box with the girl with the umbrella, navy blue box, the girl with the Morton Salt Company. Most salt in this country has been iodized, and it's really good for our thyroids. But too much of a good thing is a bad thing. Too much of a good thing is a bad thing. You don't want to eat a whole chocolate cake. You don't want to pour a whole salt shaker on your food. And I'm speaking to the choir. I'm talking to me right now. So we have to have a balance in everything. So if you recognize that you have a problem with something, don't ignore it. I've got pink salt. I got a whole bag of pink salt. But I can overdo that too. Overdo that too. So I have to go cold turkey. Pretty much, I have to go cold turkey. Now, I read in the Why We Get Fat book that when you go into ketosis, your body does its best to push potassium out. And when you're pushing potassium out, you might get some Charlie horses. So I read that, and that was like, oh, I got free reign to eat salt now. Free reign to eat salt. No, I don't. Nope. I want to see my rings get really loose. Yesterday, I drank my water. And where the water goes, the salt goes. Where the salt goes, the water goes. So when you see yourself, what are some of the signs that you know you've had too much salt or too much processed food? Your fingers get puffy. Your hands get stiff. Yep, your ankles swell. Think about it. You're swelling. All your tissues, all your cells in your body are swelling because they're retaining fluids. And this is what I'm going to write about. Now, bananas have about 550 milligrams of potassium in them, but they have way too many carbs for me. Way too many carbs. So you got to be vigilant. Yep, that's the word. That's the word of the day. Vigilant. It's staying on top of things. Watching, not blindly eating salt. It's recognizing what you're doing. So I've got to go cold turkey. And I got to get it out of my system. Got to get the taste out of my mouth. I've got to eliminate the salt in my life. I have to do it. For me. Now my rings, after drinking my water yesterday, water gets rid of the salt. I am not, and I didn't eat salt last night. It's wonderful. So let's, as Leanne calls it, let's be mindful of what we're putting in our mouths. That white stuff is not good for me. The salt holds the water, which swells. Now, Patty and I are both susceptible Sister Patty, if we ever have to be put, I can't really be put to sleep. And they use something to raise your blood pressure up. Now get this, it's a double-edged sword. When you've been put to sleep, they use something to raise your blood pressure up that we overdose on. So they have to use fluids. Now get this, they have to use fluids to increase our blood pressure. So when you're eating salt, you're retaining fluids, which does what? Makes your blood pressure go up. So when you reduce the salt, you're not going to be retaining the fluids. Now, most blood pressure medicines, I'm working this out while I'm talking to you. Most blood pressure medicines have a diuretic in them. You know what a diuretic is? It makes you go potty all the time. It's reducing the fluids. It's getting rid of the fluids in your body. Well, when you let go of the salt, you're not going to retain the fluids, which is going to make your blood pressure go up. So those of you, tell your doctor what you're doing. Tell your doctor what's the ideal amount of carbohydrates you should eat each day. I don't know what medications you're on. I can't prescribe that. You've got to talk to your doctor. For me, I try to stay within 30 grams of carbs a day. I've done this for a lot of my years, and it works for me, under 30 grams. But you gotta know how many grams are in a lot of things. You gotta know what it is. One tortilla, 26 grams of carbs. One tortilla. One chip, 5. So you see, it is a scary thing. It's a scary thing. But if you eat healthy carbs, that's the spinach I had in my quesadilla. I had one tortilla, spinach and cheese. So there's a fine balance on all of this stuff. Letting go of the salt is going to let your body heal because you're not swelling up your cells. So, in our new book, our Body Clutter Wisdom, Wise, whatever we're calling it, we're going to tell you what we've learned, how we've adapted the things that our doctors have told us, the things that the books, Patty and Leanne and I, we devour books on health. We learn so much stuff. The Why We Get Fat book that Leanne introduced me to several years ago, it changed my life. Totally changed my life. For once, I realized, for the first time ever, I realized why I couldn't have carbs. Because my body puts out insulin to fight the carbs. I'm thankful that I have insulin, but why do I need to fight the carbs? Now, if you're on blood pressure medication, if you're on diabetes medication, there's some things going on there that your doctors probably don't even know about because they listen to pharmaceutical reps. Yeah, I'm going to get on my soapbox. Leanne got on hers the other day, I can get on mine. Here's the deal. We have to know how our body works. Just a simplified actions. We know what we're putting in our mouths, and we've got to look at what is going on with our bodies when we eat certain things. Now, if you're taking a medication that's going to bring your blood sugar down and you stop eating all the things you've been eating, you're probably going to drop your blood sugar so low that you could go into a diabetic coma because your blood sugar's too low. So you got to talk to your doctor. And you got to keep account on your blood sugar, because that medication makes you need to eat. So talk to your doctor. Say you want to go on low carb stuff. How's your medication going to affect that? You got to talk to them. It's just all there is to it. So everybody, I've been on my soapbox. I've given you what I'm addicted to. I'm addicted to salt. Everybody in my family is addicted to salt. I think except Dina. I don't think Dina likes salt. But Patty and I love salt. And we may have to go cold turkey to get a balance. It's okay. Cold turkey it is. Leanne will be on here at 1 o'clock. I'll be back on here at 3 o'clock. And for those of you in Florida and the east coast of the United States, keep an eye out for this storm. This storm is not good. Be prepared. I love you all. I know that we can do this. We can get our homes in order. We can be prepared to leave for a storm. We can take care of this heavenly temple that God has given us. I know we can do this. But we have to be willing to change what's going on up here. We have to be willing to change. I love you all. I will see you at 3 o'clock, and I'll be on with Leanne at 1 o'clock. And we're just going to have fun today. Get ready for the storm, folks. Bye.